Story 5.
My name's Nige. I was born in Ardwick, which is a district of Manchester. I was born in 1963. Now, Manchester is an industrialised city. The area where I lived was mainly light industry and heavy industry. But the area where I lived was mainly, the housing was terrace housing, and it was a very close-knit community. Everybody knew where the children was. Everybody could leave the doors open at night time with no problems. My father was originally a butcher, and he had to give that job in eventually, because we have the tradition in Manchester where everybody buys their meat on a Monday. They would pay on a Friday when they got their dole money, normally their dole money, or a wage, which in them days was very occasional. When I was 1 year old, we was given a choice of moving areas, because Manchester was becoming more and more industrialised by the year, and they found that there was too many people living in Manchester itself, and my family chose Bredbury, so we moved there when I was 1 year old. Now, it's only a small town. When we moved there, it was considered a village, and it's still not too big now, maybe 5,000, 6,000 people. And I started my education at Bredbury Primary School, and I went there when I was 4 years old. And normally all the teachers, they were all over 50 years of age. They all wore the old cap and gown, they all carried a cane, which wasn't very pleasant when it hit you. We always, capital punishment then, or corporal punishments I should say, was delivered with relish. I eventually left the primary school when I was 11 years of age. After failing my 11 plus, I had to go to the normal secondary school, and I sometimes studied there. Most times I would, what we call, be absent from school. In my final 6 months at school, I think I attended, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. We had a very stupid teacher them days. We used to go into his classroom in the morning for our registration, and then we would normally have him for a double lesson straight after. We would walk out the door. He wouldn't even miss us. So I decided to leave school at 15 and a half because it had no interest for me at all. I passed a few exams, arts, history and geography, basic things, but I was more interested really in doing my own thing. I wasn't particularly bothered about education. So I didn't work for approximately 6 months, and then I was very lucky. One of my cousins was an inspector for a large bus company in the area, and he managed to get me a job as an apprentice diesel fitter, which for me that was a good step up. So I attended college, night school for approximately 4 years when I received my full qualification as a diesel fitter. But as soon as I qualified, I decided it wasn't a job I wanted. So, consequently, I left. And I worked in various jobs. I produced milk from soya beans. I became a pensions and life insurance salesman for a short time. And then I eventually joined a company called British Aerospace, which, when I joined, was a job for life. So I was told. And I was there 2 years as a stationery supervisor, which basically I made sure that all the factory was stocked with pens, papers, paper clips and other useful things. And one day I saw a job advertised on the vacancy board for a fireman. So I thought, I'll try for that. I knew the chief fire officer. I thought, maybe I have a chance. And lo and behold, I got the job, which doubled my salary overnight. We had some fun with that. We had to train all the time. Everything had to be done by numbers. You had to salute the chief officers, you had to parade every day, which got very, very boring. But sometimes we were seconded to different airports. Sometimes we would work at Manchester Airport, and sometimes we would go to Birmingham Airport, which made a change. But eventually I got tired of that job. I decided I wanted to try and do something different. I went to various places, I went to various countries, and I decided one day to just leave my job. So I walked into work with my resignation and said, that is it. In 1 month I am leaving. I didn't give any explanation why, I just said, that is it. So a month later I picked up my what's called voluntary redundancy money and said goodbye to my family, and I went to Manchester Airport and I looked down the departures board thinking where I could go, and I saw the sign for Gran Canaria. I thought, okay, fair enough, that will do me. So I ended up spending 8 months in Gran Canaria and becoming very, very brown, and lots of different activities. I was a barman for a short time. Sometimes I was a waiter, sometimes I repaired jet skis. It didn't really matter what happened. You always found some kind of work out there. Sometimes we would just go to Tenerife for maybe 2 or 3 days, or even once to Morocco just for a weekend. Life out there was so different, it was incredible. Every day was a holiday. I left Gran Canaria on the 29th of September, and I went back to England for 5 days. I was going to go back for maybe 2 months, make some more money, then go to Budapest. But after 5 days, that was enough. England has gone very, very bad. So I didn't have enough money to fly to Budapest, so I hitchhiked across Europe through Belgium, Holland, Germany and Austria.